Welcome everyone to Sama Saturday with Sama Dog. My name is Amanda, as you know, the founder of Sama Dog. And every Saturday, 10 a.m. Pacific time, we come here together to have some dog talk and to bring our attention into various subject matter that involves our dogs and ourselves and living the most healthy, natural, spiritual life possible. And today I'm super excited. I have to calm myself down a little bit because I'm so excited to have David with us. This is David Blank, everyone, the CEO and the founder of Happy Tales Adventure Tours. So let me just pause a moment and welcome you, David. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Amanda. It's great to be here.
So David and I have partnered up. So he has a wonderful organization, and he'll definitely talk more about his background and what he does and why we're doing this. But basically what Happy Tales is an adventure tour company where you bring your dogs. So they take people out in a really safe and hassle-free and handling all the details for you kind of situation. And they go on adventures. And David, as he'll share, has been a tour guide for many years and definitely is in his dharma when he's sharing the work. And to be able to bring our animals and ourselves together for this kind of opportunity is super exciting. So when David and I came together and started talking, we thought, why not bring all the teachings of Sama Dog into an experience like this so we could have a spiritual adventure? And we decided that would be a perfect fit going through the Southwest. So we're going off to the Grand Canyon. I want to just post here for you. If anyone wants to check it out right now, even you can jot down or head over to that webpage, but do come back with us, of course, and hear the rest of this because we're going to talk all details. But that's the landing page to find out all the ins and outs and specifics. But basically, this tour is an 8-day tour, and we will be going May 5th through 13th of this year. So it's a co-creation, and I will be what we're calling like a VIP host. So the teachings of Sama Dog will be woven throughout, and David and his team take care of all the details. So we, again, couldn't be more excited. And so I want to just turn it over to David to share a little bit first about, how you got into all this work, and especially how did you get the inspiration to involve our dogs with us, David? And just briefly, I'll welcome everybody who's coming onto the line right now. Hello, friends. We're on Be Live today, so it's a little bit different, so I can see a few of you. David said hello. Hi there, David. Great to have you and Bowie here. And I see Christine's here. So let us know as you're tuning in and where you're coming from. And certainly any questions or curiosities that you have along the way. That's what we're doing this for, is to be able to connect with all of you. So I'll turn it over to David to share a little more.
Great. Thank you very much, Amanda.
Sure.
So yeah, as Amanda said, my name is David Blank. My wife and I founded a company which is called Happy Tales Canine Adventure Tours. And the focus of Happy Tales is to get people out with their dogs in nature, traveling, so that they can build a deeper bond and a deeper connection together. There's a whole lot of different things behind the creation of Happy Tales Canine Adventure Tours, but I started in tourism back in 1993. I was traveling internationally, and I met a gentleman who was working as an overland tour driver in Africa, and he told me what he was doing, and I was just completely blown away. I thought, wow, you mean people will actually pay us to travel around the world and take people with us? And that's when I got my start. And I've been doing it ever since in different forms. For me, it's such a passion to be out in new places and to be able to give people the opportunity to see it through my eyes, and also for me to have the opportunity to see it through their eyes. I get to see places that I've been sometimes 3, 4, even 10 times before through somebody who's seeing it through the first time through their eyes. And it's really such an incredible blessing and a gift. And so that's why I love adventure travel and being a guide. And in 2000, I actually left a corporate job, and it was a travel job because I've always been in the travel industry. And I adopted an Australian cattle dog out of a rescue in Maryland. And 2 weeks after I adopted him, this dog that was about 24 hours away from being euthanized, I put him, his name was Max, I put him on the back of my motorcycle, and Max and I took off, and we spent an entire year traveling around North America on a motorcycle. And it was only a couple, 3 weeks before he and I were really connected and really synced in together. And that's because of the fact that we were traveling and we were together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And so, from that very beginning, he and I had a very deep and very spiritual relationship. In fact, before we left on the trip, I was offered a job, and I came home from accepting the job at an interview, a second interview, and Max had eaten my apartment. And I was so infuriated, and I wanted to strangle him. And so I sat down and I took some deep breaths, and suddenly there was a voice in my head, and it was his. And I looked at him and I said, you know what, you're right. I don't want to be stuck inside all day anymore either. And that's when we took off on our big adventure. So over the years, Max and I, we spent 13 years together. I picked up another cattle dog named Dozer in 2005 in New Mexico. And in 2007, we moved to Panama, and we started a company called Adventure Tours Panama. And down in Panama, I met my wife, Claudia, who's my partner in this business. And we found another dog whose name is Margie. And so the 3 dogs and I and Claudia we went on all our ventures together, all our tours together. And people loved it. And the only complaint we ever had about having the dogs on our tours was, why can't I bring my dog? I want to take my dog on an adventure with me. And so that's where the idea was born of doing Happy Tails Canine Adventure Tours. And we just really, as I said, our whole mission is to give people the opportunity to travel with their dog in a safe, hassle-free way. We take care of all the details for them. And then they get out, and just by being together for so much time, their relationship gets deeper than it ever has before. And that's been a consistent experience with us since we started the company in April of last year.
No, it's so great, David. And I feel it so exactly the way that you're sharing it is when I have gone on adventures with our pups. There is just a deepening of the connection, the communication, and most importantly, the trust. We both know, and I'm sure everyone watching this knows how important trust is in the canine-human bond. And when you have to experience new terrain together, you're staying in new places together, you're eating in a different location and need to trust that all is going to be well behind you, the dog learns to rely on you in such a way that it exponentially transforms how quickly and how deeply you align to one another. And I've seen it time and time again. I've even used this as kind of a training tool when I've had troubles with certain dogs in my life, and various things have gone on. When we've traveled together, we've been able to get over a lot of those things. So it's very cool.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, exactly. I think I was speaking with a trainer the other day, and he had a great comment. And what he said, if I paraphrase it correctly, was when you take the dog out of their environment that they're used to, they're going to rely and look to you more. And that's where that deepening comes from. And he said it in such a great way, and it just made sense to me. So, as I said, that's really what it's about for us. We're not doing these tours to train people or train dogs. It's the experience itself that does the work.
Yep. Beautiful. Well, I would first of all love to welcome our additional viewers that have come on with us. We have Heather and Christine and Kate, and David is here with us. Also, our other David, as I mentioned. So we are so happy to have you all. Let us know that you're here. And if you're willing, share this. If you have people in your life that are also canine lovers as we are and total dog people, then they will appreciate hearing about this, even if they can't do a tour like this, or this isn't, something they're going to do this year. Just knowing this experience and the benefits that can come through travel with your dogs is a really important part of their life. So surely they'll get some benefit from it too. So please help us to reach out. So now, David, let's go into, if you will, our tour, our Peaceful Paws tour that's upcoming. Again, the dates are May 5 through 13 of this year. And so we're departing out of Vegas, and take us through the rest of our 8 days.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. So, it's an 8-day tour. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We're going to get people out there in the Southwest. We are going to stay in Vegas at the Golden Nugget Hotel, which is right in Fremont Street. So we get to be in the historic section and really get to feel for that. And then from Vegas, we're going to depart and we're going to be driving southeast, and we're going to go over the Hoover Dam. We're actually going to go over the bridge that goes over the dam. So back in the old days, you could actually drive over the dam, but nowadays there's a new bridge that was built probably 10 years ago. And the Hoover Dam dams up the Colorado River. It's a hydro dam and created Lake Mead. And so from there, we head south and we'll hit historic Route 66, which was built back in the 1920s, connecting Chicago with Santa Monica, California. And so we'll travel along Route 66 with a stop in Seligman, Arizona. And everything in the tour is oriented towards you and the dog being together and spending time with them and being dog friendly. So we're going to stop at a diner where it's pet friendly. We can go in and have lunch. They got outdoor seating, and you'll have your dog with you. Have a chance to walk around town and explore Seligman, which was actually an old railroad junction that then grew because of Route 66 being. And from there, we head up to the Grand Canyon, and we'll spend the evening at the Grand Canyon. They have the most beautiful sunsets in the world. It's absolutely incredible. The Grand Canyon is probably the #1 tourist destination in the United States. It's a mile deep and 271 river miles long. So as you can imagine, it's huge, and it varies from a mile wide to 17 or more miles wide. And so we'll stay the night in Tucson, Arizona, which is just outside of the canyon itself. And then the next morning, we're going to drive all along the rim and head out the east entrance, and we'll go to Lake Powell. And we'll have a couple stops along the way, and then we get to Lake Powell. We'll have a fantastic lunch there. We'll do some hiking. We'll get to explore the beaches and hang out with the dogs on the beach a little bit, stay at a resort hotel right on the beach at Lake Powell. And from there, then we will, the next morning, we're going to get up and we're going to do a boat tour of Lake Powell. And so we'll explore this fantastic lake that was created by Glen Canyon Dam in the 50s and 60s when it was built, and spend some more time on the beach. And from there, then we head to Monument Valley. So we'll be heading through what's called the Navajo Nation. And Navajo is actually a Spanish term that's been used to define what's called the Diné people. And it's their own territory. It's their own government. They have their own government. It's a sovereign nation. They just have some judicial oversight from the U.S. And we're going to go to Monument Valley, which is probably another one of the most famous sites in the world because it's been in so many movies. And it's just an absolutely incredibly beautiful red sandstone landscape. And we're going to do a Jeep tour with the dogs down into Monument Valley. And then that evening, we're going to have an actual cultural dinner with the Diné. And that's going to be a fantastic experience. And then the next day, we head up north, and we're going to go up to Moab, Utah. We'll have a stop along the way at a couple of different places for some great, fantastic views and a little bit of hiking. And then up in Moab, we're going to visit Arches National Park. And from there, we'll also go for a boat ride on the Colorado River. And this is going to be a private boat trip. It's actually just going to be our group with our dogs on the boat. And it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a fantastic barbecue dinner on the Colorado River and hang out, let the dogs run and play, and everybody will get to just relax and enjoy themselves. And again, the Colorado River up in Moab, it's all fantastic red sandstone, beautiful views. Lots of movies have been filmed there over the years. Fantastic rock climbing. We'll probably have an opportunity to see a bunch of people scaling some of the walls. And then the next day, we're going to spend 2 nights in Moab. And the next day will be a free day. So people will be able to just hang out. They'll be able to walk around town if they want. We'll also have a guided hike. And that'll be a totally dog-friendly hike going into one of the wilderness areas. And that's a beautiful hike. So we're going to do that. For those who want to join us, and those who don't can sleep in, relax, take it easy, and just enjoy Moab. And also there'll be the opportunity for people who want to go rafting or kayaking or stand-up paddleboarding on the Colorado River. And of course, all of it's oriented towards doing with your dog. So we're not going to be doing any hardcore class 3 or class 4 rapids, anything like that. It's going to be nice and easy. The trip is really designed for people to be able to do what they're comfortable with. So if you want to do a 10-mile hike, you can do a 10-mile hike. And if you want to walk 10 feet to the ice cream stand and get yourself an ice cream with your dog, you can do that as well. So from Moab, we're going to head to a place called Goblin Valley State Park, which has some really fantastic rock formations, and it's great for hiking with the dogs again. We'll spend the morning there, and then we'll have lunch, a picnic lunch in Capitol Reef National Park, which is one of the least visited national parks in Utah in the Southwest, but it's just gorgeous, very green, even though we're out in the desert. Lots of cottonwood trees and grassy areas. And then from there, we're going to head down to Bryce National Park. And we'll spend the night outside of Bryce. We're going to Bryce that evening, be able to check it out, see the sunset. And then in the morning, we'll go back in early and check out Bryce National Park before we head on to Zion National Park. And Zion is one of the most visited national parks in the United States. It's 2 different zones. It's got an upper zone with a lot of white sandstone formation. And then it's got the lower section, which is Zion Canyon, which is about a 9-mile long canyon. And we'll be able to go in and explore the canyon. There's a couple of dog-friendly hiking trails in Zion National Park that we'll check out. And then we head back to Vegas. We'll get back to Vegas in the evening, probably around 5 o'clock. And that'll basically is the end of the tour. And people will have time. We'll be at the same hotel. People will be able to go out and have dinner together. Get to have a last night soiree together and say goodbye to all the wonderful friends that we've met, all the amazing dog lovers that we've shared this fantastic experience with over the past 8 days.
Well, that sounds absolutely amazing. I was just putting in some comments there. Absolutely amazing, David. Every time I hear you talk about it, from our first conversation till now, I get all excited on the inside and jumpy in my belly because I can just imagine us all out there. Like the little visualization we did before we started this Facebook Live, which we always do and always will do to make this very intentional and meaningful. I could feel it when we had that visualization of what this would be like, all these like-minded beings. Only very certain people are going to be interested in a tour like this. So the 20 people, is that the maximum amount of humans we can accommodate?
It varies, 20 to 25, depending on how many people and how many dogs we have on the tour.
Okay.
We'll be traveling in a bus, a coach. It'll be really comfortable. You'll have your dog in the seat next to you the whole time. And there is a process that you have to go through. You have to apply for the tours. And the reason that we're doing the application process is because we want to make sure that we get the right people, that, this is going to be a good fit for everybody. We want to make sure that the people coming on the tour and the dogs coming on the tour are going to enjoy themselves and that it's going to be safe for everybody.
Yeah, the right blend of people, because I can imagine it, and dogs, of course. And when it does come together, truly magical, truly, and life-changing. And what a memory. Like, clearly, we're never going to have an experience like this again, even if you went and tried to recreate it. So I can't wait. We have some great questions coming in. What I wanted to share just briefly, and then we'll take our questions, is what I'm going to add to this adventure tour. How are we going to bring in that spiritual side with the Sama Dog teaching? So the way that we are planning for this is yoga and meditation every day, and just set to some of the most beautiful stages that you can possibly imagine. We'll definitely be there touching nature and breathing it in and seeing it and smelling it, and just really absorbed through our senses throughout all of these experiences. So whether it's yoga or meditation, we'll be doing that with our dogs also, and do a little bit different practice each day kind of thing. We'll also, during the bus times, when we be traveling from point A to point B or whatnot, we'll be having classes and lessons on the bus and talking through some of the different wellness teachings, everything from, diet and nutrition to interaction and training, as David is also a dog trainer, communication. We'll get into energy work. So we'll teach a little bit of Reiki and chakra balancing and some of those fun things that we can try out, massage with our dogs. So you'll get some lessons and some tools tools, some wellness tools to take home with you. And everyone that attends will also have a private one-to-one balancing session at some time throughout the experience, where you and I and your dog and whoever the family unit is there will all sit together. We'll look at your dog's body mind type, the dosha. We'll look at your doshas, the humans. We'll look at how all those energies are working together, and we can discuss anything that's going on with you guys, with your dogs, any advice or support, or suggestions that you might want. And then each day we'll also have guided experiences. So I'll give you a little bit of instruction of, maybe we have a mindful walk, a few minutes in silence, or a visualization exercise where we're, intentionally moving through nature and communing with different aspects of nature. So we'll really bring all of that mindfulness and that consciousness practice into the experience, that's also light and fun, but also very deep and rich and fulfilling. So that's the big idea with myself being there. So let's hear your questions, guys. We have a few here. What's cool about Be Live is that we can pull up the questions. So let's just see here. Kate has a question for us. There we go. Can you see that, David?
I can, yeah. Great question, Kate. Yes, the trip is pretty much all inclusive. It includes all of the transportation from the time we started in Vegas until we get back to Vegas. It includes all of the hotels and any pet fees at the hotels. It also includes all of the entrance fees to the national parks. So every park there is an entrance fee, that's included. It also includes all of the activities. So we're going to be doing a Jeep tour in Monument Valley, a boat trip in Lake Powell, another boat trip in on the Colorado River. So that's all included. There are optional activities that aren't included, like if you want to go stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, or rafting on the Colorado River in Moab on your day off, that's not included. And then about half the meals are included. So all of the breakfasts are included. 4 of the lunches are included, and then our 2 group dinners are included when we do the Dine cultural dinner and the dinner along the Colorado River. And anywhere that it's not included, there's going to be options of dog-friendly places to eat, and we give people some freedom to get out on their own. They can split off from the group and explore.
Fantastic. I think that our sound is coming through, but I think the video is a little still here. Is that so, you guys that are watching? Oh, now I think we're okay. Oh, David went away. David is gone. Oh, there's David. Okay, we're getting it all worked out. At least now we can see you and hear you. Very good. Thank you. And that's so important to know. These are all the questions that everyone's asking as I'm talking to people. So these are great. Jean has a really good question. Jean, when I was talking to, just side note, when I was talking to David in the very beginning, Jean, about this tour, I thought of you. And I said, they need to go. And I knew that you and Juliet would have so much fun on this tour. So Jean has a question. You are not allowed to bring dogs on hiking trails in national parks. I know, I've tried. How do you get around this? I'd love to know.
So that's true. You're not allowed to take the dogs in the national parks off of the paved trails. Fortunately, places like the Grand Canyon and Bryce have paved trails along the rim areas, so we can go along those areas and do plenty of exploring. I think it's 14 miles of rim trail at the Grand Canyon, 4 or 5 miles of rim trail at Bryce. There are designated trails in Zion where you can go for with the dogs. And then there's always the option if people want to go off trail a little bit more. We've got our hiking day in Moab with our optional hike in the morning. Goblin Valley State Park, we can go hiking off pavement onto the trails with the dogs. And if some people are interested in going off and doing hiking, usually I find that it's smaller groups that want to go do a little of that. If they want to go explore without their dog, we'll take care of it. We'll work it out and split the group or something like that, where if people want to do something, they can. But we're doing everything to keep people together with their dog as much as possible. And of course, follow the rules at the parks and we want to be welcome at the parks. And I think it's just a great opportunity for people to go into those places and see things.
Yeah. Yeah. That's just it. Just having so many experiences, quickly you will we'll all, as a pack with the humans and the dogs, just kind of learn how we'll move through these different places. Kate has another question here about how many dogs. So 20 to 25 tour mates. How many dogs per person allowed? My family has 4.
So it's going to vary again because we want to make sure that it's safe. So that's why we're doing the application process. So if you have more than 1 dog per person, that'll be part of the conversation. If you can handle having multiple dogs together, if the dogs are friendly with other dogs when they're together, because sometimes 1 is fine, but 2, they start to protect each other. So we just want to make sure of that. If you have 2 bigger dogs, like 2, 40 or 50 pound dogs, and you can handle them, we decide that you can bring 2 dogs. There may be an extra charge because we'll have to have space on the bus for each person and their dogs. But we're open to doing whatever works. The main thing is we want to make sure everybody's happy, safe, and comfortable. And I know because I have 2 dogs. I used to have 3 dogs, and they pretty much went everywhere with us. So.
And we had a question previously around like food and accommodation for your dog's foods. Not every dog is on kibble. Some of them need refrigeration or even freezing. And we'll make arrangements for whomever is on the tour. That's what's great about doing a small, kind of very exclusive experience like this, is that we get to really customize it for all of you. So depending on what everybody needs, we will be able to make those accommodations for sure.
Yeah, we will not be providing the food for the dogs.
Yes, let's make that point clear.
and there's a couple of reasons for that, but the main one is, as most of you know, your dogs get used to a certain diet, and changing up their diet, especially when they're also going to be in the situation of traveling and a new experience and all that, it's probably not the best thing for them.
Yeah.
But we will be providing some treats occasionally for the dogs, although we have to explore with the dogs and make sure that none of them have any food aggression issues, and make sure that we don't instigate any problems. But so far, the largest trip we did was 22 people, and we had 10 dogs, and that was a full moon kayak trip. We didn't have any problems with the dogs. Everybody got along, and it was just a fantastic trip. So we've been very successful with this so far, and every day is a new experience.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any other question, David, that you have had often that you want to share with anyone, knowing that it might come up?
No, I think that we've pretty much covered everything. I just want to say that the main thing is this is a fantastic opportunity to come out and do one of these tours with Happy Tails and with Salma Dog. What Amanda is bringing is just an incredible gift to what we've already put together, and we're super excited about this. We think everybody we've talked to and mentioned this to just gets so emotional, because it's been my experience that the reason that we get a dog is because since childhood we've had that dream of having like Lassie, that canine sidekick that's always with us. And it doesn't just happen. It takes time, it takes experiences, it takes trust and respect in a relationship to be able to get there. And what we're doing is a huge way to do that. And by including what Amanda's doing, I think it's like turbocharging the already turbocharged, and we're really excited about it.
Super special. So let me share a little bit with everyone. We want to share the pricing with you and kind of how the arrangement works. And most importantly, we wanted to give all of you a special offer for being part of our Salma Dog community and for being part of this Facebook Live. So everyone who listens to this live and books and pays for their tour by Sunday, February 10th, so next Sunday, February 10th, will receive $500 discount off the tour, double occupancy price, which is $5,495. So $5,495 is the total price. You all will receive $500 off of that. Mind you, that's the all-inclusive price. It includes many of the meals and accommodations and everything that David's talked about. And we're also going to throw in, for anybody that signs up through this Facebook Live, a Happy Tails and Salma Dog gift basket, a travel gift basket for your dog. So you'll get that when you arrive on the tour. And we'll have all kinds of good stuff in there, like leash and treats and waste bags and reusable water containers, t-shirts, hat, signature products from Sama Dog, a charm collar, and more. So we'll have you all set up and ready to go for your 8 days when you arrive, and you'll get your gift basket. We'll make sure not to make it too big though, so it won't weigh down your luggage, but all kinds of good stuff in there. So when you sign up, as David mentioned, you will have an application to fill out, and just on that application, mention that you heard about this through our Facebook Live so that you get all those extra bonuses.
Yep.
So if anything you have to add to that, of course, David, and then if any of you have any questions about obviously the tour or the pricing, payments, anything like that, let us know.
And I would just say, I have experience. Not only did I do 27 years in travel and adventure tours, I've also spent about 4 years working, training, and studying dog training. This is not a training tour, but if you have issues with your dog, this is going to do a lot to resolve them. If you have concerns, definitely fill out the application and then schedule a time to talk to me. It automatically, after you fill out the application, leads you to a link where you can get on my calendar and schedule a time, and we can go through the application. It's a very quick, simple application. It'll take you less than 5 minutes. And then, if you have issues with your dog, let's talk about it. If you have some concerns, we can work anything out. If we need to, we can help you find somebody in your area that can help you with any issues you have with your dog, so that you're more comfortable bringing them on the tour and being there and being, relaxed and enjoying yourself, because that's the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely. And then, as you just said, we're all there to help and support. So, I'd say, yes, this isn't a training tour because it's not, but it is a wellness tour. It's certainly an adventure tour also, but the well-being and that natural infusion of holistic living into your dog's life is certainly what we'll be spending a ton of time focusing on. And so, if your dog, David will clearly explain if your dog's a right fit or not. But if your dog isn't maybe its healthiest or at its best, that doesn't mean that it can't go. Let's just make sure that it's a right fit and we feel like this will support it. But again, this might be the perfect place for your dog to go, to have the experience that it needs and to receive the tools and the guidance that it needs. So, we'll see who's the right fit for that. But please don't think that it's only like super experienced dogs that have traveled through the Grand Canyon before they get to go on this tour. It's not that at all. Or people. Violet and I are going to have to do a little training preparation before we go. We're getting ready. Her stamina is not the greatest. Mine, neither. So we're going to work on it before we head out. So just wanted to see if there's any other questions. We put the link down there at the bottom, the happytailstours.com/southwest-tours. David also on his Instagram page is doing a live Insta story every day, or live feed there. So you can jump in there and listen to all the details as we have been. And anytime in the future, if anybody's watching this on a recording, just put your questions below. David and I will keep our eyes closely on this feed and make sure that we get your questions answered.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being with us and for your interest in this. Thank you for helping us to get the word out and share it with those that might just be the perfect cup of tea for them. And I appreciate you very much, David, for creating such an offering for the world and reaching out to me to partner in this with you.
Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited. It was great the first time we met, and our connection was great. And I really think this is going to be something fantastic, and we'll be able to do this more than once.
Yeah. I love it. Well, thank you all so much. Let me just make sure that we didn't miss any questions here. Christine said, I already put out an application, but may I get the discount? Yes.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
If I haven't spoken to you already, I'll give you a call this week, and we can, just mention it to me, and that's fine. We can get you the discount added, not a problem. So
yeah, and your phenomenal gift basket. Let's not forget that.
Yep.
Christine, we'd love to have you with us. How fun would that be? It's so fun to just imagine some of the people that I know so well and the dogs, sharing so much time together. Imagine how close we'll all become and get to know each other so much better. So, all right, before I start rambling about all the details, we'll wrap it up there and leave you all to have a fabulous weekend. Thank you again, David, and we hope to see you all in May, everyone.
Great. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye. Namaste, everyone.